Right, so big shout out to Ty Yeager from Air Alamo on this one, but we're going to go ahead and look at the depth chart now that everything is done, the dust have settled, and let me just give my overall thoughts about this roster.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, guys, so let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's dive straight into this, okay? I don't have a segue. I'm not good at segues. I'm still working on it. I need to start writing things. Clanthemerchfan.com though. Link in the description if you want to support. You know, somebody suggested on Twitter that I call it Manu mentality, which I guess that makes more sense than just Mamba mentality. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Are you gonna like not get it because it doesn't say Manu mentality? Probably. All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this. So the depth chart. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Let's get rid of that. Let's see. All right, so this is the updated San Antonio Spurs depth chart. Thank you, Ty. It says point guards, Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, Devontae Graham. Now, as far as how I feel about Devontae Graham, I'm still not sure whether or not he's going to be any type of buyout. I'm assuming not now, right? So we probably need to do a video on him, but more than likely, this is a really short-term situation. Won't be here super long, even if he does stick with the team. But overall, Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, I wouldn't be surprised if Blake Wesley got minutes close to Trey as the season dwindles down after All-Star break and everything. Moving on down, shooting guard, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, Romeo Langford. Oh, I absolutely love this. You can see where the age is starting to shine now, okay? So Malachi Branham, can I just say this? He, apart from Sohan, he is my favorite player on this team, okay? I'm still warming up to Blake Wesley. I know a lot of people love Blake Wesley, and don't get me wrong, like every now and then I see a pass where I'm like, whoa, he just made that. His athleticism is through the roof. I know he reminds a lot of people of DeJounte Murray, but I think he's more athletic than DeJounte, to be honest with you. He definitely has a quicker first step. So I really do like Blake Wesley, but overall, Malachi Branham and Sohan, those are my personal favorites. And the reason being is because of the IQ between those two. Like Malachi Branham, he knows how to score. Like he already has a natural ability to score. It's so many veteran moves at the age of 19. It's ridiculous. And same thing with Sohan. I'm just a sucker for that craftiness between those two. Romeo Langford, he has been a pleasant surprise. He's not as great as I thought, or he's not as great as Celtics fans made him out to be, because a lot of Celtics fans jumped on the channel and they're like, man, you're going to love Romeo, bro. Oh, he's legit. We just never unleashed him. And I don't think that anymore. I think Romeo Langford plays hard. I think he's a good piece, good role player. And every now and then he's going to shine with a key block in games, or you know, a shot that you just didn't see coming. Like he's more of an opportunist in that regard, but I'm not expecting like huge things from like some people. But he's a phenomenal backup, like really good backup, and you can do so many things with him because of his two-way ability. But moving on, Keldon Johnson, obviously he'll be a small forward. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, this might be mean, but I think that we're pretty short small forward. Like I think we're pretty weak in this position. Now point guards, I guess point guard too, but not as much. I feel like Trey Jones, Blake Wesley, very solid, and Keldon Johnson, I think he's fine. People love Keita Bates-Diop. I like him too. Weird that he's small forward. He just seems like one of those guys that you put at power forward, but it's fine. I think I'm fine with him. Stanley Johnson, I think I'm fine with him too, but this is just not going to be enough once we're really ready to win again. We're going to have to fill this spot, I think, with someone else. But Keldon Johnson, overall, he's been doing fine. Just defensively, it's really bad, like really bad. And I chalk that up to the fact that he has to do so much on the offensive end this season. But I look back and no, he always kind of lacked in that regard. I think a lot of people key in on Keldon blocking Luka Doncic and they're like, oh, he's a good defender. I don't think Keldon is a good defender. He has to be toe and toe with someone, like size wise, strength wise, that is. I think he's really good. Like he can utilize his strength pretty well, but he doesn't have a lot of lateral quickness there. I just feel like at small forward, we're gonna need maybe a better backup. I'm not gonna say replace Keldon, but maybe a better backup there. But moving on, let's see. So power forward, pretty doggone strong. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think, and this might just be me, and maybe I'm over reacting, but I think we're pretty set at power forward. Now, Obviously, if we were to get Wembanyama, you can move him to power forward because the Spurs have already said that they're willing to move him to power forward and move Jeremy Sohan to point guard, which would be wild if they did something like that. Like, that would be really cool. But so we don't know there, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think this, now people are going to hate this. I think we're stacked. Okay. I think we're stacked enough at power forward where I can see that this team, you know, down the line, we don't have to focus on power forward too much, you know, like Jeremy Sohan, he is phenomenal at what he does. And then you got Isaiah Roby, very versatile. And then Dom Barlow, right? Dom Barlow, he's more of a secret weapon. So I absolutely love me some Dom Barlow, okay? So that's secret weapon there. So Jeremy Sohan, Dom Barlow, Isaiah Roby, all good stuff. All great stuff. All right, so moving on. So center, you got Zach Collins at center. You got Kim Birch, and you got Charles Bassey. Weird that he put Kim Birch at 2. I would assume that, well, I guess because Charles Bassey has been moving between G League and everything. I would assume, though, Bassey would be right behind Zach Collins, I would assume, but we'll wait and see there. So how do I feel about this? I'm still on the fence about Zach Collins just as far as injuries. I just don't want him to get injured. Spurs have been pretty good with him. He's been pretty good. And I think that they gave the Spurs even more comfortability moving Jakob Poeltl because of how well Zach Collins has played. And then Charles Bassey, I really like him. I want to see more of him. But yeah, Kim Birch, I don't think we'll see a ton of him, but that's just my take there. But yeah, so yeah, this is our new depth chart, and I'll tell you this right off the bat: while things are exciting, Blake Wesley, Malachi, even Devin, right? Jeremy Sohan, you know, Dom Barlow, these things are exciting for the future. This team, this is going to be me. I don't know if they're going to win another game. I don't know if this team will win another game. I don't know. I hope they do, but I don't know if they will. I'm just going to be, I don't know. This doesn't look, this is one of the worst rosters in the league. And that doesn't mean individually these players are bad. That is not true, okay? Blake Wesley, individually, a lot of upside. Devin Vassell, individually, very efficient, okay? Malachi Branham, individually, very good player. But just the cohesiveness of the team is not a great team. All the pieces don't necessarily fit super well together. All of the backups are just, I don't know how long they'll even be. It's just not a great roster, man. It's just an ugly roster. It's going to be fun to watch with Jeremy Sohan and everything. But now that we can't lean on Josh Richardson, thank God, and we can't lean on Jakob, and even Jakob was getting scored on, man, teams might put up 130, 140 a night on us, dude. I don't know. But anyways, I'll get with you guys later. As always, if you want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com or become a patron, a YouTube member. Only $2 per month. So link in the description for all that, by the way. Thanks for the love.